We've showed you the evidence. Lois Lerner targeting a sitting U.S. Senator, Republican Chuck Grassley. But why Senator Grassley? The Washington Examiner's Susan Ferriccio has been investigating that story. She joins us once again. Susan, do these two know each other, Senator Grassley and Lois Lerner?
Oh, yes. Of all the senators and House members, Chuck Grassley, more than anyone else, scrutinized tax-exempt groups within our country, like hospitals, charities. He wanted greater oversight. He wanted more accountability. He wanted more transparency. And Lois Lerner, from 2005 on, has been head of these tax-exempt organizations. And Grassley was head of the Senate Finance Committee, either as chairman or as the top Republican. And for 5 years under her tenure, and while he was the top Republican, he really pushed for greater scrutiny of all these groups that she oversees. Now, we're talking ACORN, which was, a group that a lot of Republicans targeted at the time, the Red Cross and how they dealt with their donations, the United Way. He went after the big charities, and it really forced the tax-exempt part of the IRS to rewrite the rules and draw on much greater scrutiny of these organizations.
I have never in my life seen anything so over the top than her wanting to refer Grassley to be for an audit, for the simple reason that she gets a letter about Grassley being invited someplace. Grassley didn't even get the letter. I mean, there's no conduct that was illegal. She just receives a letter inviting him to speak, and she wants to go after him.
It's my understanding this is about the culture of the division that Lerner, was overseeing. That she brought along this culture of just sort of the hair trigger response.
That's vicious. That's actually not even hair trigger. I think that's actually vicious because it's what she did was so profoundly wrong.
Well, on top of that, my understanding is that there were the people in Grassley's office were often trying to get her to look into bigger problems like the tax shelters that were suspicious, or other organizations that really deserved more scrutiny, and they couldn't get her to do any of this work. And then she does this really hair trigger referral on one invitation for Grassley for him to be audited. So, she responds to that very quickly, but doesn't deal with any of these other things. And it's about the culture there, about her lack of understanding about tax law, which we've heard about in these hearings, which my understanding is that she didn't have a great understanding of that, but also political bias. It was a combination of those two things. And that's kind of a microcosm of the bigger problem with that organization and how they ended up targeting these
one of her colleagues pulled her off the ceiling and told her, how patently absurd it was what she was trying to do, and bad.
They understood the tax law, but she didn't.
Understood the tax law because it was so wrong what she was doing. Anyway, Susan, thank you.